Hey guys, Reese here and welcome back to another video. So first and foremost, I want to talk about the location I'm in right now. Obviously, this isn't my normal filming location. So I actually just moved into my new rental property, which I'll put an update on this channel here shortly once we're 100% done. However, I'm not unpacked. I just moved in last night, finished around 2 a.m. and therefore I have nowhere to film at home. So I'm here at my office in the only location I could film, so bear with me. I know windows in the background, not ideal. It's a little echoey in here, and there's traffic behind me. So hopefully we can get through this video without too much distraction. And please keep in mind this is temporary, and we'll be back to a new set here shortly as I build that out in my new rental property. So thanks so much for bearing with me on this. So in my last video, if you watched that, I talked about why most people fail in real estate. The number was 95%. And the majority of those people that fail are people who give up or never get started due to fear. And if you're interested in watching that video, I'll go ahead and put a link up here that you guys can maybe add that to your queue to watch next. Fear plays a daily role in our lives, and I think every single one of us feels some sort of fear, anxiety, hesitation. However, it's those of us that can learn to control that fear and maybe even use that fear that succeed in the path that they've chose to pursue. We often see the people at the top of their game, maybe the top 1% or leaders in their industry, and they portray a very confident persona. And we often think these people have no fear. However, it's unlikely that these people actually have no fear, but instead they have learned how to handle and cope with that fear and maybe even use it to drive them towards what they're trying to succeed in. And they use that fear to their benefit and not let it hold them back. It's easy for us to let fear keep us where we are, and in return it keeps us complacent. We're not pushing to improve. However, in today's video, I want to talk about how we can push through and overcome that fear, and instead of letting it hold us back, cope with or overcome it to help us push forward towards our goals and succeed. So guys, before we dive into that though, I'd love if you would all give this video a like. It really helps me out as a small channel, and we're really ticking towards 1,000 subscribers as well. So if you're new to the channel, I'd love for you guys to subscribe and be one of those last couple hundred subscribers before we hit 1,000. So thank you so much guys for all the support. I really appreciate it, and let's dive into the video. So first off, let me start by saying I'm not a psychologist. I'm a guy just like you all who is trying to overcome obstacles on my way to financial success and success in real estate. Probably like many of you all that are trying to overcome certain obstacles in your path towards whatever you're trying to succeed in. And one of those very obstacles is that of fear. And so while nothing I say in today's video is really new information, I want to share what I've learned while digging into ways to overcome that fear as I'm trying to overcome my own fear and limiting beliefs, and share it with you all so that maybe you can learn a few things, and I'll give credit where credit's due in this video as well. So the reason I wanted to talk about fear today is because I feel fear. I am starting a new business in real estate while we're going through a global pandemic. I'm not wealthy, and so finances are tight for me, just like they are for probably many of you. Many of you may be struggling with where your next paycheck will come from, as maybe some of you have been laid off, or you're constantly in fear over what this next stimulus package will be, as we see a lot of stimulus updates coming through on YouTube and new packages being proposed, like the HEALS Act. And so I personally am always trying to improve in certain areas of my life and business, and improving my management of fear and my use of that fear, I think is very important, especially in these scary times. And so now we all know that fear is an emotion, and therefore it's something we can control because we can control our emotions given time and practice. And obviously that's very simple, that now since we know we can control emotions, we know we have control over fear. And so one great way to help control your emotions is to act the opposite of that emotion you're feeling. So for example, if you're experiencing strong fear, well, pretend you're confident. How would a confident person act in this situation? On a physical level, that might be standing tall, standing upright, talking loudly and slowly, breathing deeply and once again, slowly. Keeping eye contact and smiling would also be another physical way that confident people might act. And by acting this way, you can start to trick your mind into thinking you're more confident. This is similar to the reason why people wake up in the morning and they perform affirmations in the mirror. Because by repetitively affirming certain thoughts in your mind is very malleable. You trick your mind into thinking you are whatever you're saying. And there's a great saying that's something like this, where whether you think you can or you think you can't, you're right. Because by thinking positive and performing positive affirmations, you trick your mind into believing those. And you can also trick your mind into the opposite. And if you tell yourself negative things or talk yourself down, you'll believe that as well. In addition, I was watching this YouTube channel by Brendan Burchard, I think is his name. And I think he said it best, and he probably didn't come up with this, but that's who I found it from. So he said there are 3 areas of pain that contribute the most to fear. And by learning and understanding these areas of pain, we can then control them and overcome them. Now, I think it's no surprise that mindset is going to be your worst enemy and also your best friend when it comes to overcoming fear in any of these pain areas. And the first of these pain areas that we experience fear from is loss pain. By focusing on what you might lose by pursuing a new career or starting your own business or anything else, we add fuel to the fire that is fear. Instead, we need to focus on what we might gain. It's exactly as we said before, that focus on the opposite. For example, when I decided to leave my W-2 job, I was very fearful that I was going to lose that salary. And at my age at that time, it was a relatively high salary as well. However, instead of focusing on that loss of safety and income, focus on what you might gain. For me, I focused on the chance to achieve financial freedom through real estate, the chance to grow wealthy as well, and even pursue something else I'm passionate about. The second area of pain is process pain. We often hear that people are afraid of change, and change is exactly what process pain is. People are afraid of having to perhaps learn new things and the amount of work that'll come from that. It pushes them out of their comfort zone of what they already know how to do. However, once again, we need to switch our mindset here and focus on what we'll gain. Sure, you may not know anything when it comes to, for example, starting a business, but by putting yourself in the situation and learning how to do these things, learning the processes that come with starting a new business, you're going to experience substantial personal growth. Change can also be exciting and not something to fear. It can add a little zest to your life or switch up the mundane that you might be experiencing by working the same job every single day or doing the same thing every single day. And finally, number 3 is outcome pain. What if the outcome is no better than where I'm at right now? Or what if it's worse? What if I put all this time and energy into starting my own business once again, for example, and I work more hours and make less money than when I was working a W-2 job? Pretty much, what if the grass is not greener on the other side? Once again, at the risk of sounding repetitive, this is all a control of mindset. And this doesn't happen right away. By shifting your mindset in literally everything you do from a what if, a negative scenario, to a positive scenario, you train your mind to then operate that way in every scenario. You focus on the growth that pursuing this opportunity will provide you, and not the short-term, maybe negative that might come from that. And regardless of the short-term negative or potentially positive, if you do experience that short-term negative, you've shifted your mindset to a positive position where now you're confident that you can pivot and turn that negative into a positive long-term. The more we train our mind to think with a positive outlook, the less we have to actually try, and the more we'll naturally become confident in our abilities to succeed. By understanding where that fear derives from those 3 pain points, we can learn to always have a positive outlook in those 3 areas in everything we do, and therefore control our fear and feel more confident more often. So guys, thank you so much for watching this video. I really appreciate all the support you guys have given me, and I want to thank you all for liking this video, and if you're new to the channel, subscribing. Thank you once again, and I'll see you all in the next video.